Ooh, chill. I don't really have a lot to say about this. I just wanted you to take a moment yeah. I don't really have a lot to say about this topic. I am really on here to promote a couple of things. I finished the PowerPoint presentation. um, I am. I finished the PowerPoint presentation for Laylim Layler. Yes, yes. I finished the PowerPoint presentation for Purple Thought, and I'm excited about it. I am so excited about this PowerPoint presentation. Purple Prodigy already saw it. It's gonna be amazing. I have been watching some of the video because one of my supporters on my Instagram page had sent me the link to this video where T.S. Madison, Diamond Styles, Hope Giselle, Dominique Morgan, Jerome Tramiel, and Fairy Puss and Day and what's her name, Morgan? I think Morgan was talking about where they was talking about what happened with the stud and the Caucasian trans woman. And I'm really honestly just I'm tired of talking about bathrooms, but for the sake of um but it was just really a key. Like it was a key. The stuff that they were saying was a key, and for me personally, I felt like the live was definitely about being in your bag. Like it was a safe topic to talk about, and obviously T.S. Madison has mastered what topics to touch and when to touch them. And it was just great to what I'm gonna say that I enjoyed was seeing Diamond Styles and Hope Giselle on a platform together, being cordial to each other and being responsive to each other and being respectful to each other. Like that did kind of give me hope, because not too long ago, Hope Diamond was literally sitting on her platform, calling Hope Giselle evil. And so calling me and Hope evil. And then she said I wasn't evil. I was just mentally unstable. But it was very good to see Diamond and Hope, on the same platform together, being cordial to each other and being respectful to each other. And so I did kind of live for that. I think that what Jerome brought to the panel, although it just they kind of gave me eyeball out energy because I felt like the panel would have been more balanced if it would have been a AFAB person or two on the panel. I think that by the fact that everybody on the panel was AMAB, I think that was challenging, that everybody was AMAB. So, like I think that um it was a very entertaining, it was funny. Child, when I tell you, like, I'm not a huge T.S. Madison fan. We already know this, but baby, when I tell you that lady had me cackling multiple times when she said Jess with the testicles. And when she talked about how Caitlyn Jenner ran them people over with that car and was able to still position herself. And that was the thing for me, is like that's why, not so much of, like, I felt like this was really um we know Dominique, that's social media queen. She didn't need to post her cash app because, Miss Baby is tied to coins. Hope wasn't really worried about a coin. I think Hope and Dominique just really kind of like live for T.S. Madison. So that was their end goal. It was like, chill, T.S. Madison, my sister, Dominique is always going to just impromptu, involuntarily just, sing T.S. Madison praises or find a way to incorporate T.S. Madison into her conversation. And Hope typically is going to find a way to incorporate like they are literally like loyal to T.S. Madison. And that's no tea, no shade. It just is what it is. So, I think that they would be just happy to, sit up on a panel with her, when we just think about the construct. But then when we just think about how the panel was constructed. And then some people had their Cash App posted because it's like, girl, Maddie, you getting all of these super chats and you about to get a bag off of this video. This video about to go viral. Is definitely about to go viral. So we know you about to get a bag. I don't know if they're going to divide some of the revenue that comes from what is earned from the video. Like, is it going to be divided? Is a stipend being paid? I don't know. Or if they just was like happy to be able to get the exposure and to jump on the live with her because like some of them may have done it just for the exposure and just for more exposure, just for added exposure. Some of them did it because they was bored, and some of them was like, "Child, let me post my Cash App and see if I can get a coin out of this." And so I felt like that was, for me, I felt like that was the crux of why the video was done, because I never understand why I never understand why black trans women or black queer people or non-binary people, like, we, I don't know, I guess it kind of give me like the Watcher tease. Like, have you ever, that little Marvel comic about the Watchers? Like, I feel like sometimes black people in this experience, in this reality, we give like Watcher tease. Like, we like to because this is a white centered reality. This reality is yeah, I see you, Goosey Prone. Yeah, so this is a white centered reality, and so I feel like, because because white people are centered in this reality, we oftentimes wanna unpack their life stories or unpack their narratives, like talk about what's going on in their world. And because I honestly didn't see why a panel full of melanin rich AMABs would feel the need to insert themselves into a conversation. Like, and then, Diamond told a story about when this happened to her going into the bathroom. But girl, this was even before she said the timeline of when it happened. I, I think I'm about 7 or 8 years older than her. She probably just turning 40. She may be 41, but she's probably just turning 40. But I think I'm about 7 or 8 years older than her. So I knew when she was telling the story about what happened to her in the bathroom, I was like, girl, that was 20 years ago. Like, girl, this happened to you 20 years ago. Like, times is supposed to be progressing. Like, child, we're not still there. We're not still where we used to be, girl. Like, we're not still there anymore. So yeah, things should have changed by now. And so, like, to compare what happened to you 20 years ago to what is still happening now in modern day society, black trans women are not gonna, like black trans women not gonna do stuff like that. Like, we just, oh, thank you, Goosey Prune. Like, black trans women, we just not gonna do stuff like that. Like, that's just not our tea. Like, I just feel like, and I'm not gonna say black trans women aren't capable of going into a women's bathroom, or black trans femmes aren't capable of going into a women's bathroom and doing, doing some foolish stuff. I'm not gonna say that we would never do that, but I just don't feel like, in the climate that we're in, why would we agitate the situation like that? Like, I think when it comes to, because it's not just about black women feeling safe or white women feeling safe or any women feeling safe. It's about everybody feeling safe. And even with me as a sex change person, as a person who done laid on the table and had a sex change, if I feel like the environment is sketchy and some people is ignorant and some people is gonna be rude to me, I'm not going in that bathroom. I'm not going. Like, bitch, I don't care how fish I feel. I'm not going in that bathroom if I feel like it's gonna be some shade, or if I feel like some people, are eyeballing me, or like if I feel that energy, like if you read the room and you just don't feel safe, I'm not gonna go in there. And to me, I felt like, this is some California stuff. Like, this is a privilege that a lot of us don't even, like, this is a privilege. Like the white trans person looked at like the white trans person looked at like the white trans person looked at like a cisgender male, looked at like, and that's what they was. It was looked at like a cisgender male. I saw a little bra, I saw a little titty. I did see some femininity, I did see some remnants of femininity, but I felt like that was all propaganda. I felt like the whole thing was propaganda. I felt like the whole thing was a viral moment. I felt like the whole thing was pure entertainment. I felt like the black the black lesbian saw this as an opportunity to, knowing the climate that we were in, strategically used the white trans person as as a casualty of war. The white trans person was collateral damage, and I felt like strategically the black lesbian understood that this is somebody that I could use as collateral damage. This is somebody who is not going to be able to match wits with me if this goes viral, if this goes out on a platform. This is somebody who's not finna be able to go toe to toe with me and fight me if it comes down to throwing them hands. Like, I felt like the black lesbian had an agenda. I felt like the black lesbian person had an agenda. And to me, it really just, and I'm gonna go ahead and keep a gutter. Like, I'm not gonna sit up here and lie and say it didn't look like a man arguing with a man. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it a bean. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it a bean. It gave me very much man on man violence. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not, um, I'm whole. Somebody told me one time, they said, it could be, somebody could say, people could say that you look like a man in the face. People could say that you look masculine in the face. I'm not fucked up about that. Like, I'm not, I'm legit not messed up about being told that I look masculine sometimes. Like, I'm not upset. That doesn't offend me, being told that I look masculine. I'm whole. You can't shake me with that. You can't shake me telling me I would love to look bricky. Like, I am trying to get the energy to get back to work out now. Like, I would pay to be a brick. Like, I would pay to be bricky right now. I would pay to lose some weight and to look bricky right now. So when I say, like, you're not gonna make me mad telling me I look like a brick. Cause what you just told me was I look battle ready. What you told me is I look like a warrior. What you told me is I look prepared for the fight. What you told me was I look strong. What you told me was I was serving Amazon fish. That's what I heard. I heard Amazonian warrior. I heard Wonder Woman. Dun, 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 dun. I heard She-Ra. I heard For the Honor of Grayskull. Bitch, that's what the fuck I heard, bitch. Bitch, I saw Grace Jones and Conan, bitch. The TS Warrior, bitch. So you ain't making me mad, bitch, calling me a brick, bitch. Battle ready, bitch. Bitch. TS Nubia, bitch. Exactly. So, gone are the days, girl. Like when we was brainwashed and when we was conditioned and we didn't understand wholeness and we didn't understand purple thought. When we didn't have purple thought, girl, that was when brick was a read. That was when calling a girl hard was a read, honey. That's divine, baby. That's wholeness. Bitch, I am my mother and my father, my grandmother and my grandfather, Miss Thing. Girls be around here want to be girls be around here want to be soft and broke down and cunty. And then girl, by the time you 50 and 60 years old, bitch, you looking like a sack of mushy bananas. Bitch, you look like a sack of mushy bananas, bitch. Bitch, a bag of bananas, bitch, that somebody done pounded on, bitch. Bitch, you look like a garbage bag full of bread pudding, bitch, banana pudding, bitch. Bitch, you look like somebody dumped a pan of Thanksgiving dressing into a garbage bag, bitch. Brick me, bitch. Brick me, bitch. Girl, Tina Turner looked like a brick. Tina Turner looked like a brick in Tina Turner gave you Bricky in What's Love Got to Do with It, and look how she aged. Look how Angela Bassett aged, and Angela Bassett looked like a brick in looked at like a brick in What's Love Got to Do with It. And Viola Davis looked like a brick in the Warrior King. Brick me, bitch. Sign me up, bitch. The bricky, bitch. Girl, the girls Miss Thing, that's colonialism to still trying to be living up to these soft as butter standards. Girl, fuck all that shit. Girl, soft as butter was when we was kept and when we was helpless. And being kept and helpless is what made the patriarchy what it is now. That's why we're a lopsided system of oppression because the girls is still trying to walk around here looking like butter and being all soft, girl. And then, girl, you hoes age, bitch, and you hoes look like a saggy garbage bag of bread pudding, bitch. You hoes ain't got no shape to you. You have curves in your 30s and your 40s, girl. And then, girl, when you turn 50 and 60, girl, you look like a bag of bread pudding. A beat up bag of bread pudding, girl. Stop. No, ma'am. Brick me, hoe. Bricky down, bitch. A mushy thing of applesauce, bitch. Exactly. So, when I say somebody look masculine or when I say they both look like men, it's not a read. Cause to me, having an androgynous appearance or being able to see masculinity on a person, that does not mean that they look ugly. That does not mean that they're not attractive. To me, that is a sign of power. To me, that is a sign of divinity. That is a sign of wholeness. And I live for it. So, people could say, "Oh, you're judging, you're shaming." Child, that is 1980s, 1990s logic. This is not 1980. This is not 1990. This is not the year 2000. It is the year 2025. We are whole. We are our mothers and our fathers, our grandmothers and our grandfathers. We don't have to lay on tables and change our bodies and go through all these things in order to fit into people's idea of what we should look like. But I just find it diabolical and insane when you see a black woman when you see a black woman who look like a man, who look like your homeboy, mad because a um mad because a white trans person is in a bathroom with them, talking about they feel uncomfortable and they don't feel safe. And like, and you know, like somebody Hope made a very valid point. Hope said, like, people would feel safe with you in the bathroom. Like, how many people have you probably harassed in that same bathroom, and now you have somebody to pick on? I just think that the bathroom conversation is just really, really getting old. It's really, really getting dated. You know, I lived for, but I must say, I did live for, you know, again, seeing Hope and Diamond. I think that was probably my favorite part. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and keep it real. Y'all know I get on here and I drag Diamond every chance I get. I drag her every chance I drag her every chance I get. But babies, I was actually in the comment section pressing hearts and 100s while she was talking because I was proud of her tonight. Like, I was proud of her tonight. Like, I really, really was proud of her. Like, engaging with Diamond, showing maturity. I mean, engaging with Hope, showing maturity. I was really proud. I think that Dominique Morgan had kind of like slid a read in on had slid a read in on Angelica. She was like, "Why y'all pinned that comment?" And then Angelica came up in the chat and was like, I just don't like scammers and con artists." And then a non-binary person called out India Moore. Show did called out India Moore, and then the whole baby it lit up the group because baby Dominique Morgan spoke out against India Moore and Diamond spoke out against India Moore. Girl, I was gagging. I was gagging. I was gagging, baby. Diamond had called out India Moore, and Dominique Morgan had called out India Moore. And I think Dominique Morgan called out Angelica Ross. And baby, when I tell you Hope and Dominique put a nasty chewing back, it was a nasty chewing. Oh baby, they was chewing, baby. It was kitchen table talk for real. But you know, I wanna, you know, commend T.S. Madison for for putting on this show tonight. Like, I don't know if I liked it the way her hair was styled, you know, because I don't like when she wears certain hairstyles because it make her look like she ain't got no neck. You know, and I be self conscious about that because I think when we get older or something, our neck gets shorter. You know, me and her the same age. Child, I've always wanted to have a long neck, but I think when she wears certain hairstyles, it make her neck look like she ain't got no neck. And child, I don't like that no neck look. When you look like you ain't got no neck, I be wanting to see my neck. Maddie in that blue wig done did it tonight. Yeah, I don't know if I liked it that tonight. I don't know if I liked it that look on her. You know, she was painted though, painted up like a $2. But yeah, she was painted though. That lady was painted. It was somebody had painted her. They had her looking like a They had her looking like an old China doll. She was painted up like an old China doll tonight. Girl, I sent you the tea and unsent it because I didn't want to bother you with the mess. Child, I hadn't already got it. I hadn't already got it and jumped on here and started watching it. It's still on now. They still on there now. Hope on there, Dominique Morgan still on there, Jerome still on there, Day still on there, Diamond still on there, Madison still on there, and so I think Quay, the little young girl Quay, she the only one that jumped off, and the tall trans girl that's always saying on the next episode of Unclockable. Yeah, I think she done jumped off, and Quay jumped off. Them two jumped off, but Seven of the 9 people that was on there. And like, don't get me wrong, I thought it was a really good, powerful like panel discussion. Like it was a lot of diversity on there. It was a lot of people on there. But I just felt like some of them should have been AFAB, some of them should have been assigned female at birth. And I feel like when we are really talking about collectively healing, we have to show that nuance. We have to show that diversity. But, to that point, and 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 the other side of that is being able to have conversations that call together a strong collective like tonight. T.S. Madison did a good job in bringing together some strong voices in the community. I don't know if I would say it was the most diverse, but there was a lot of different representation. Like she had sex changes on there. And I thought it was interesting when Dominique Morgan said when I saw girls get the pussy and was still getting called a man, that was when like it was really over for me. And that's one of the things that I find interesting is that, you know, girls don't have to get clocked when they get a pussy. That's what I have to understand. And like I think when girls say you got a pussy and you still getting called a man, I think that, we talk about um femphobia. We talk about femphobia. We talk about transmisia or transphobia. Um, I liked um I liked um Hope's explanation about why she uses the term transmisia over transphobia. And I just feel like when girls bring up the sex change and they bring up the sex change as a way to say, oh girl, you went and had pussy and they still calling you a man. I think that that is a form of self-hatred, because we don't get the surgery to become the standard of what it means to be a woman. Like all of us don't. We don't all get the surgery because we're trying to live up to some mythological, unicornic idea of what it means to be a trans one, what it means to be a woman. Because not even females are living up to that expectation. I have been on the side of girls who look like models. I've been on the side of girls who have dated celebrities who got clocked and they have children that came out of their vagina. So we don't get a vagina expecting to be this mythological unicorn female that never experiences um femphobia or some type of phobia that's around us not living up to this imaginary idea of what it means to be a woman. Because I could, like, if I didn't want to get clocked ever, I could alter my voice into what men think it should sound like, because at the end of the day, that's who we're trying to please. We're trying to please men. I could alter my voice. I could dress down. I could not draw a lot of attention to myself. The only time a lot of women get threatened or intimidated with trans women is when we glam up and when we wear lashes and when we wear hair and when we put heels on and when we put makeup on and when we put nails on and when we, peacocking for competition. But child, if you just look like an old school marm, or old, you low key and you just give old school marm energy, ain't It ain't gonna be no conflict. It ain't gonna be no issue. Like, don't nobody care. Like, I used to get through all the time before I had the sex change, when I just gave old nasty old school marm energy, when I just, blended in, wore a headscarf, wore some old hoop earrings. At one time I was ready to get some goals in my mouth and just give you old Project Fish energy. Like, that was literally what I was gonna do, just give you Project Fish energy. And I would have passed, and I could pass every day. Like, I know girls who don't have no surgeries, who barely take hormones, who are unclockable because they know how to fit into the mold of their hood. They know how to give the aesthetic of their hood. They know how to blend in with their hood. They don't have to take buku hormones. They don't have to go and have all these surgeries and stuff. They know how to mimic and model the aesthetic of the females in their community, the females in their tribe. And so what typically happens when a girl starts to get clocked is when she starts to step outside of the norms of what her tribe is and what her community is. And so, if you are 6'5" and you got on, if you naturally 6'1" and you put on some 5-inch heels, and you put on a lash, and you put on some bone straight hair, and you put on some makeup and a sexy dress, then 9 times out of 10 people might be, like, trying to figure out what the tea is. People might be trying to figure out what the tea is. You know what I'm saying? Pussy or not, whether you was born with a vagina or not. And so, I really just find it interesting when I hear trans women say things like that. Like, that always, like when I hear that, like, my little antennas go up, to hear. But Dominique Morgan is an extremely intelligent girl, like, extremely intelligent, and she's beautiful, and she's, like I said, she's successful by society's standards, by society's metrics, by a black elitist metrics. She is an established and successful girl. And but in trans years, she is not an elder. Like, as a human being, she is an older person, but in her transition, she's still a young girl. And I have to remember that. Like, she's not a girl that has 15 years in transition. And after you've gotten about 15 years, 15 plus years, I think you could say, okay, you're moving into elder status if you got 15 plus years in transition. But if you only got about 10 or 12 years, that's not like elder status. That's like, okay, you got a basic understanding, you're committed to it, you're really invested in it. Like, once you get past that 10-year mark, then I say, oh, this is for me. This is not for everybody. This is not me saying, oh, your trans is not valid because you don't have 10 years in your transition. But I'm saying, once you get 10 plus years, then that's when I say, okay, okay, you really been in this, you really been in this. And I have to realize that, even though, she's in her 40s, I think she's in her 40s, I think she's in her early 40s. But even though she's in her 40s, she really don't have a long time in this. Like, she lived as a man, got married and all of that. And so when she says things like, when I saw the girls going to get vaginas and still getting called a man. And I don't know, like, it's like y'all think that we get these vaginas for validation. Like, is that what like, it beckons the question, did you transition for did you transition for validation? Like, that's the question it beckons for me. Like, are you transitioning for society's validation, or are you transitioning for yourself? Did you embark on, and like girls be saying, "Oh, well, what I'm gonna get this pussy for if I can't get pregnant? Well, girl, what am I get this pussy for, girl, if they still gonna call me a man?" Well, bitch, you don't really want a pussy. These are not reasons to get a pussy. I want a pussy so I can have a baby. I want a pussy so I can be unclockable. Now, I'm not finna invalidate your reasons. If that's your reasons, I'm not gonna invalidate your reason. But that's not the reason. That's not that's not the standard. Like, and it really shows you how shallow a lot of us are when it comes to how we view this journey. But and then when she was talking about it and she was saying what she was saying, there was like, you could tell like the girls on the panel that had the sex change, they hadn't really had it for long. I know both of the girls on that panel, nobody on that panel had their pussy longer than 5 years. Miss Baby, the tall, skinny one, she hadn't had her pussy longer than 5 years. Hope ain't had her pussy 5 years. You gotta be to had that pussy over 5 years before you really start to understand that pussy. For you really start to speak with wisdom about that pussy. Cause the first 3 or 4 years you got that pussy, you guesstimating. You talking out the side of your neck. You on some fantasy shit. You gotta be the head that pussy going on 10 years so you could really understand, so you can really understand the journey. Like when you, a lot of people be wanting to talk to sex changes who just got their pussy last year or who just got their pussy 2 years ago. No, ma'am, girl, you need to be the head at least 8 or 9 years in, girl. Then that's when you start talking like you got some sense with that coochie. Telling you, as speaking from personal experience, my first 3 years with my pussy was a shitty mess. Was a shitty mess. I said some things that I was like, girl, what the fuck? And I liken it to postpartum. Cause you do grieve your old anatomy. You do grieve your old body. I liken it to postpartum. You go through a depression because your body is changed. It's not gonna go back to the way it was. It's not gonna go back to the way it was. Kind of like having a baby and your body change after you have a baby. Some of us actually call the sex change giving birth and having a baby because we give birth to this version of ourselves that does not have a penis. We give birth to a different version of ourselves, a penisless version of ourselves. And so your body is changing and it's not going to go back to the way that it used to be. And so on some levels it is a birth. You lay on a table, you're in pain, you're bleeding. It's a lot. And you're birthing a different aspect of yourself. And so I liken it to postpartum. You talk to a girl a couple of years after the sex change, you're not gonna get that full. You're not gonna get that full story. Now she might be able to tell you some good stories about how she got her kuna licked, and how Trey was stabbing her viciously and Trey was beating up them cookies. She might give you some good sex stories, but she haven't really had that coochie long enough to really break down the psychological effects, how it impacts the psyche, and to be able to reflect upon it. Because in the first couple of years after you get your sex change, you're gathering experiences, you're gathering data, you're collecting information. That's the first couple of years. You're collecting information. It's just like when you become sexually active, you can't give a dissertation on sex when you've only been fucking about 2 years. You can't give a synopsis on sex or relationships after 2 years of fucking. Who want to hear relationship advice from you and you only been fucking for 2 years? So you need a little time. That's why it take you 6 to 8 years to get a doctorate degree. Even if they fast track you, it take you about 6 years, huh? So it takes time to be able to speak about the experience with wisdom and to have moved past this data gathering, information gathering period into this area of expertise and this area of being able to reflect. Right, right. They need girls like you on the platform. Thank you so much, baby. Thank you for saying that. I mean, I know that they would never. I know that they would never. I know that they would never, they would never, it'd be too much like, right, they would never. And I'm not, I'm not in a place where I'm fucked up about it anymore. At one time, I wanted to collaborate with Angelica Ross, and I wanted to be on Angelica's platform and talk with Angelica. And child, I'm over it now. Like, I'm doing my own thing. I'm super excited. We focusing over here. Ain't that right, Purple Prodigy? Like, we focused over here. We building over here. I finished my presentation today. When I tell you it is so amazing, I am promoting it. Let me look at my calendar. Hold on, y'all. Wait, I think I could. I think I could look at my calendar on my computer. We gonna get a date now. We're gonna get a date and a time now, and I'm gonna stick to the date and the time. Oh, let's look at November, cause Trans Remembrance Week starts on the 13th. It's from the 13th to the 19th. So I'm gonna be in New York. Right now I'm in Louisiana. I'm still based in New York, but I'm doing a lot of work, communal grassroots work here in Louisiana. We got a small grant to do a little bit of work here. And so I'm working on some things here in New Orleans. I'm really hoping we could get this bus up and running. That's one of the things that I really want to be able to create transportation for queer people in collaboration with the Deep Space Project, the Deep Space Craft. But I'm looking at the calendar for November, and so Saturday is the 15th. Sunday is the 16th. Okay. So yeah, I wanted to do it on the 16th, so that lines up good. Okay. So I'm gonna do the PowerPoint presentation. Write that in the comments. Write Sunday the 16th. And do me a favor, Purple Prodigy, put that in the main comment section as well, please. November the 16th, 2025, we will have the Purple Thought presentation. Um I don't want to have it too early, and I don't want to have it too late cuz my brain works my brain works more efficiently earlier in the day. Like, I typically think about multiple things at a time. So I jump around in conversation a lot. And that's why I actually like doing PowerPoint presentations. I'm going to give a shout out to a couple of people, to a couple of organizations. So I did a PowerPoint presentation in school one time. I had to do a PowerPoint presentation in school before, but it's been so long since I've been in school. So I did PowerPoint again when I was going through a training for this Rise group. They taught us how to do PowerPoint presentations, and I never got a chance to utilize the skills. So I never got a chance to strengthen the skill. Like I had to do one PowerPoint presentation and I wasn't being used for like events and things like that. So I never really developed the skill. So recently, I had a chance to collaborate with Rhodes, which is with Nala Tucson, and that's a place that really like centers like um black people across the diaspora, and I was given the opportunity to facilitate a workshop, and I didn't have to create a PowerPoint presentation, but I wanted to create a PowerPoint presentation because I feel like PowerPoint helps me to streamline my thoughts and to be clear and to be specific and to be concise about what I want to say because I have a very creative mind and I tend to I can move all over the place, and I did it, and I don't want to do that with this PowerPoint because Lay Lim Lay Lur Purple Thought is legit about to be, hold on. Yeah, Purple Thought is legit about to turn 8 years old. Yeah, 8 years old. Purple Thought is about to turn 8 years old in in December. And I want people to be clear about what this is, why it's important, why it was created, what it's about, what it stands for, what it means. And I want to be clear and concise, and I want to break down its relevance, why it's important as a practice, why it's critical during these times. And so that's what this PowerPoint presentation is going to answer, and it's going to unpack that, and it's going to be clear. And I want to continue to do PowerPoints such as these to streamline my thoughts and to make them plain because not everybody has the capacity to follow me because I do tend to jump around a lot. And so I think that I think that the PowerPoint model really works for me in helping to, give visuals and to be able to just really bam, 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 bam. Because, people need that, like the society that we live in, the culture that we live in. People need you to be able to go bam, 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 bam. Sometimes people can't always get it when you go bam, 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 bam. And that's me normally because I can follow multiple conversations at one time. Like I can chew gum and walk at the same time. So I can follow multiple storylines. I enjoy music where people are singing different parts at one time and being able to hear the various parts at one time. So, but I know some people they need for you to be like, bam, A, B, C, D. They need that. They need that synchronicity. They need that order. And so they need that structure, and I want to be able to give that to people. I want to be able to offer that to people because as we move forward in celebrating this practice and celebrating this culture, Purple Thought, in our 8 year anniversary, as we move towards honoring it during Transgender Remembrance Week, I just want to make sure that I am being thoughtful, and I want to gift this to my platform. Like, this is a gift to people who have been faithfully supporting the platform, to all the new subscribers who are coming to the platform. My vision for the coming years is just to continue to make make this practice more clear, make show the practicality of this practice, and and understand that it's been hard to do that because this is not a platform that thrives off of exploitation. Like this is a lot of the most beautiful things that happen in this work happen privately. They're intimate and y'all don't get to see it because we treat them sacred. It baffled me when Beyonce created a hair care line and called it sacred. Because if you understand what sacred means that everything isn't for public consumption. Sacred means that some things are intimate and they're personal and they're just for, and so there's a lot of moments that are healing, that are aha moments, that are moments that help us to evolve and to expand in consciousness and to become more whole and to become more self-realized, that I never publicly share. I may share a picture from that night. I may share a painting. I may write a short story, but I'm not going to give you blow by blow, moment by moment. Or that's one of the reasons why it's been so hard to create a website. Because a lot of times a website feels exploitive. Because what is on that website, like you've got a whole bunch of personal information, and that's what a lot of people want. Like this reality thrives on exploitation. It thrives on um trauma porn, you know. And I learned when I was doing Lay Lim Lay Lur, when I was doing New Legacy, I was able to watch how other nonprofits were moving, and I was able to watch how a lot of these spaces were moving around me, and a lot of it was trauma porn. And also, a lot of it is just talking about ourselves in a way that is talking about ourselves in a way that I just don't connect with anymore. Like I like there's certain ways, like I don't like victim narratives, but I also don't like elitist narratives. Like I don't like snobby elitist narratives, but I also don't like playing the victim. I also don't like playing like I can't get a break, and life is just so unfair, and I'm just over here struggling so hard, and woe is me. I don't like that narrative, but I also don't like I'm better than you. You can't sit with me, and you're a drug addict, and you're this and you're that, and you need to get a job, and you need to, I don't like either of those narratives. So like I fall somewhere in the middle. Like I'm not a bougie elitist. I think I'm better than you. You can't sit with me, but I'm also not a life is just so hard. I can't get a break. It's always bad. Everything is wrong. Like I'm not neither one of those people. And I don't cultivate that type of energy, and I don't create that type of space. Like that's not the type of space that I hold. I don't hold space for pity parties, and I don't hold space for bitches who think that they all that because massa gave them a few extra slices of cornbread. So I feel like oftentimes when you're maneuvering through this matrix, the requirement is for you to be willing to treat others as collateral damage in order for you to get ahead. And that's kind of impeding on my ability to be able to give funding because I'm not willing to sacrifice the people that I work with and the people that I love for numbers, for monetary But every now and then people will see the vision. People will see the work. People who are around me, people who are close to me, people who know me will put in a good word and be like, no, no, she really be over there. Like they really over there doing the work. Like I'm serious. I know them personally. Like that's how I get grants. Like people who know me, people who've met me, people who've been around me, people who shared space with me have put in a good word for me. Every grant I've ever gotten, it ain't been by an accident. It ain't been by luck. You couldn't gatekeep me out of it because a motherfucker knew me and knew that I was doing the real work. A father sucker knew me and knew. That's why you can't cut me out of everything because people know me, people see me. I don't post everything that I do publicly, but people who know me, who got a little position, who got a little clout, who got some connections, they done said so and so and so and so really, really who they say they is. I wrote a grant the other day and they was telling me, what are you doing in community? And they was asking me to talk about what you doing in community. I said, Google Kaneen Mafa. Google. Google, Pooh. Google is your friend. Google. This been a lifelong journey. Google, Pooh. Both of my names are Googleable. Google Tila Lorraine Love and Google Kaneem Mafa. And that's on period, Pooh. But I think we're gonna do the meeting on, yeah, so we're gonna do it November the 16th, and we'll probably do it. I want to say the early evening. Yeah, let's say about 5 o'clock. Let's say 5 o'clock Central. Let's say 5 o'clock Central on Sunday. 5 o'clock Central on Sunday. They need to get the improvise for their own personal reasons, especially if it resonates with them, and not for other reasons, especially for a dookie loving crusty nigga. Nobody talks about that part at all. They need to experience girls like you on the platform. You're going through a metamorphosis process. T.S. Green. It's like a puppy pretending to be an elder. Yeah, yeah. Dominique is a older human being, but not a trans elder. And we like the experience has to be gained through the trans side. Oracle too authentic for them grifting platforms. We make moves and plans. TS Busy Boots. Exactly. Sunday, November the 16th, 2025 is TS PowerPoint presentation. Yes, TS Purple Thought PowerPoint presentation. TS Sunday, November 16th is TS PowerPoint presentation. TS Purple Thought PowerPoint presentation. I love me some Nala. You annihilated that workshop. Thank you. You are well spoken, love. You got this. You better say that, Goosey. Yes. Her hair, Kira name sound like secret low key. It's TS personal journey. It thrives off lack of boundaries and monitoring consumption. Halfling doom victims, horror narratives, superior narcissist, predator, peasant narrative. Ashe. they see and respect. They recognize TS Trailblazer, TS Purple Thought presentation. Exactly. So Purple Thought presentation. Put TS Purple Thought presentation November the 16th at 5 p.m. TS Purple Thought presentation 11/16 25 11/16/25 at 5 p.m. Central. At 5 p.m. Central. So it's TS Purple Thought presentation 11/16/25 at 5 p.m. Is you still on here or Nadia? You went to sleep. Let me find out you don't went to sleep. Let me find out that Purple Prodigy. Oh, you was typing, huh? Thank you, Prodigy. Literally, literally. Okay. Chill. I think I'm about to lay it down now. But yeah, I wanted to come on here and just give my little feedback on it. Like I overall give my feedback on that and also just do my little promotion of the presentation that's coming up. So um yeah, so it won't be this Sunday coming. It'll be next Sunday. And then after that, we're gonna be in New York. We're gonna be in New York, doing an event for my daughter's birthday, my daughter Bonnie birthday. So we got a lot going on. But yeah, we're gonna do that presentation next week. This is gonna be the first time ever doing a presentation on this platform like this. I am going to have I'm going to do it via Zoom. I'm really excited. I'm literally figuring out the capacity, so I'm gonna have to tinker. I'm probably gonna do a live before then just to figure it out, just to figure it out, just to kind of like do a test run and make sure that I got all the bugs worked out. This is gonna be my first time, so I'm really excited, y'all. I'm really excited. I'm really excited. So y'all gotta be patient with me. TS patient with me. But I want to make sure I have all the bugs worked out because I do want this to go well. Because I want this to be, this is the future of this platform. This is the future of how we're going to learn, how we're going to engage, and how we're going to get participants for the School of Purple Thought. This is definitely the direction that we're coming in. Every now and then, I might jump on here and just talk about some random stuff like I did tonight, but it is going to be to bring awareness to something else that is going on in the world of Purple Thought in Purple Nation. Laylim Laylar. It's always gonna be about that, but just to be able to connect with the people. I'm glad that Juicy Prune reached out to me via reached out to me via Instagram and sent me that tea because I was supposed to do a promotion video today. So, this has kind of worked out well where I could do this. I know y'all will come catch the video later. But yeah, I really don't have a whole lot to say about the bathroom because, I'm not a racist person or a prejudiced person. Um, but I don't do um Caucasian people a lot. Like I don't saturate myself with Caucasian people. So I don't get wore out of them or tired of them. Like I have a selective few that I'm around that I love, that get me, that I'm invested in, but I don't live in that world. Like my world is not like this is a white supremacist society. This is a white supremacist reality, but I don't live in a mayonnaise jar. Like I don't like like I've seen I want to say probably in the past 3 days, I've seen two white people, and the only reason why I saw, and well, today I saw a couple of white people because I did get out and go out, but like in the neighborhood that I live in, child, I literally like white people are not the minority. Like I live in the ninth ward, like I'm staying in the ninth ward. Like white people are not the minority, and I rarely see a white people. I don't go over the bridge. I'm mostly on this side most of the time, and I mostly see black people. Like I'm around black people a lot, and so I think when people are pursuing a certain level of access, a certain level of status, and they have to engage with white people all the time in a white supremacist society, they get white fatigue, they get exhausted, But that's not my narrative. I curate my life. I choose the people that I want to be around. A lot of times that means that I have to make sacrifices. That means that I don't have the access that other people have. That means that I don't have the resources that other people have. That means that I don't have the opportunities that other people have. But I also don't have the headaches. I also don't have the stress. I also don't have the aggravation or the fatigue. Bitch, I'm almost 50 years old. Look under my eyes. Bitch, look at me. Bitch, I'm almost 50. Wash face, bitch. Bitch, I may not have the nastiest coin. I may not have an abundance of resources, bitch. But bitch, I'm less than 2 years from 50, bitch. Cause bitch, I ain't got the stress either. Amen, a woman. Thank you, Purple Prodigy. Well, anyway, I love y'all. I was gonna light a candle, but I ain't got TS lighter. I ain't got TS lighter. I'm about to go ahead and lay it down, child. We're gonna light a candle in our hearts. We're gonna light a candle in our heart. You wanna put a candle in the chat for us, Purple Prodigy? You wanna give us some candles in the chat? Give us some candles and some feathers. Or give us some candles and some feathers. And some candles and some feathers and some purple hearts. Some feathers for the indigeneity, some candles for the ancestors, and some purple hearts for wholeness. Amen, a woman. My God is God on today. I got some more grants to write tomorrow. Oh my goodness, it's past my bedtime. I can't believe I was up this late on the live. Like, child, it's 11:18 and I'm doing a live, child. I'm still on my fast. Now, I'm breaking my food part of the fast. I've been eating, but I'm still on my weed fast. I'm still on my alcohol fast. So I'm still doing the alcohol, weed, and all the other things. On the little, on my little plane in the snow, making snow angels. But yeah, I'm still on that fast. So, I'm just on but I'm not eating meats. I'm still on my vegetarian kick. The only thing I had today was watermelon, and then I had four small slices of pizza. Um, oh, that was so good. And then before I did this live, I had like a small bowl of yellow watermelon. I gotta show y'all the watermelon. The watermelon is so cute. It's from Mississippi. I gotta show y'all the watermelon. Oh my goodness, this watermelon was so good. Girl, that watermelon was so good, girl. That watermelon was so good. Oh my goodness, that watermelon was so good. Oh yeah, Sonny, I'm tempted to run up in there and give me another couple of pieces now. And soon we're gonna be celebrating my child birthday. It's coming. My daughter birthday, baby. My daughter birthday is coming soon. Wait, hold on. Let me see if this flyer look better. Let's see if this flyer look better. Okay, yes, honey. We celebrating my daughter birthday soon, honey. Yes, we're gonna be celebrating her birthday. It's your birthday, girl. Yes, baby. Flyer is cute, baby. We got two flyers. But yeah, so that's all we got for tonight. Thank you to everybody who hit the thumbs up, who came on live, and but two of y'all clicked that thumbs up. But thank you to them two that clicked the thumbs up. I appreciate you so much. Thank you to everybody who supported the video, and thank you more for thank you so much for the super chat, child, because child, it don't matter there wasn't that many people on the video because baby, if it would have been 60 people on the video, I wouldn't have got no 9.99. So thank you so much for that super chat. You know, I wasn't even doing it to get an offering, but I definitely appreciate the offering, honey. Everything go towards the continuation, honey, of building. So I definitely appreciate the super chat, honey. That was like 30, 40 viewers. That was like 50, 60 viewers. You know what I'm saying? All at once, like you showed up in the clutch. You showed up in the clutch tonight. You came through, baby. You made it pop. You did the thing. You feel me? Period. So yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. That's a blessing. I love y'all. Y'all have a beautiful night. Thank you so much, Gucci Prune. And I'm glad you had said that to me, but yeah, keep yourself safe. Like, don't traumatize yourself. Like learn from the white people and their privilege. Learn from the white privilege. Don't feel like you have no point to prove trying to go in places where you don't feel safe. Fuck, if the women feel safe, if they don't want you in there. This is what I never understood. I never understood black people wanting to go into places. Like, if it was me, I don't know. People could talk about me all they want to. They could say, your people fought and died to be in those spaces. Baby, I wouldn't have like the whites only restaurants. I wouldn't have never went in there, bitch. If you don't want me in here, I don't want to be in here. That's very much my philosophy, bitch. If you don't want me to be in here, I'm not gonna be in here. I would rather shit behind a tree or piss behind a tree in the woods than use a bathroom where people don't want me in it. So when you show me that you don't want me there, I'm not going in there. Bitch, I will buy me a roll of tissue and shit outside. I will buy me some tissue and piss outside. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that though. I appreciate that, baby. I appreciate that. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. And congratulations on the job, Pooh. Congratulations. We never belonged there in the first place. We was in nature minding our business. Exactly. Y'all can have them piss filled Hershey stained toilets. Exactly. Bitch, I'm not begging you to be somewhere where you don't want me to be. Like I'll hold that, go to the family restroom. Oh, I'ma find somewhere to use the bathroom. Oh, I'ma find somewhere to use the bathroom. Mm-hmm. If I'm in the airport, I wait till I get in the sometimes I wait, but I never like I'm I don't experience, hatred in bathrooms. I use the bathrooms that I want to use and I don't, deal with those problems. But if I ever felt uncomfortable, if I ever felt unsafe, but let's be clear, I'm not fucked up about it. If I'm out at the club, a lot of people be hung up on going to certain bathrooms. But if I'm out at the club and the line in the female bathroom got 20 females waiting in line and there's no line for the men's bathroom, guess who will go in the men's bathroom with a vagina? If it's 20 people waiting in the line to go to the women's restroom, and it ain't nobody waiting in the line to go to the men's restroom, guess who the fuck about to go to the men's restroom? And gonna tell one of my friends to come wash the door. Gonna tell one of my friends to come stand by the door. Cause if you hear me in there screaming or arguing, bitch, you know to run up in that hole. Just like they used to tell you when you do sex work or when you doing that work, don't go by yourself. Make sure one of your friends is close around. So when some shit pop off, they'll hear you scream or they'll hear you arguing and they'll know what's going on. Bitch, treat that shit like the stroll. Don't go by yourself. Don't go to the bathroom by yourself. Have a witness. And if that person don't want to come in there with you, have them to stand outside so they can hear you in there and be your witness. It's about safety. Fuck what the fuck people think or how people feel. Empty your bowels and your bladder wherever you need to and make sure that you are safe. Make sure you have somebody with you who can be your character witness and who can say, no, this is what I heard. This is what was happening. Treat that shit just like the stroll. Don't go by you going to the gym, go with somebody that's close to you. Have a best friend you go to the gym with. When I go to the gym, I go to the gym with my best female friend Star. So bitch, if any shit pop off, I got my sister Star right there to be able to say, no ma'am, da 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 da, whoop de whoop de woo. That's that bullshit. When me and her go to the club, if the women's bathroom pack and we gotta go to the men's bathroom, guess what? She'll go and I stand outside and watch. Or I'll go and she'll be right there and she'll watch. Baby, get you a system. Fuck all that worrying about who this and who that. This the girls be young in their mind and they transition, and that's why they be worried about that shit. Y'all arguing over labels and titles, bitch. The goal is to empty your bladder and your bowels. Empty your bladder and your bowels. Going into the men's restroom, all that matters is that you safe. No matter what people call you, it's what you answer to. They've been taught us that. Matter what people say about you or what people think about you, your bladder ain't hurting. You ain't about to pee on yourself. You ain't about to shit on yourself. Ain't no dookie stains in your drawers. It's that simple. The goal is to detox the toilet, and that's on period. So anyway, I love y'all. I'm about to go ahead and lay down and get my rest. I will do another brief live between now and Sunday coming. No, no, no. Yeah, I'll do a brief live between now and Monday. Probably Sunday though. It'll probably be Sunday. But I'll do a brief live between now and Sunday for sure. And when I do that live, that is going to be a test live. The next live I do is going to be a test live with the Zoom so we could prepare for the presentation. I am so excited about this presentation. I have finished the hardest part of it, but I want to add some things to it. It's not going to be any more slides. The slides is already there, but I want to add some more bells and whistles to it. Like we might, like I want to have. Yes, I'm really, really, really trying to. I'm really, really. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I use AI to help me create some of the images. I'm so excited about it, and it's. I'm just excited about it. It's so beautiful. Anyway, I love y'all. I'm about to get ready to go to bed. Until next time, y'all be care. Take care of yourselves. I love you. Laylim Layler Nation. Purple ones. Rise.